Yeah, fellows, welcome to the show. I've been listening to a guy's channel called Hidden Mexico. Oh, I think I just popped in. Okay, if you didn't hear my introduction, welcome to the show. I'm listening to a guy's channel called Hidden Mexico or Mexico, and he's a black dude. He went down to live in Mexico. Let's say it the way we say it, Mexico, and I'm learning a lot from his channel. I didn't know the state of Guerrero is 45%, black descendants. I do know quite a bit about the history of Mexico. Like their second president was half black and half native. I know that the Spanish killed 15 million of the 16 million people that were down there, and then raped the rest so that we now have what we call our Mexican race these days. But then the Spaniards, after they kicked the country out, the light-skinned ones still took over and still remain in charge. The ones that had pure European blood. I learned that from a Mexican girl. Her brother was light-skinned, her father's light-skinned. She came out with the brown skin. She went to Mexico with her mother, and she noticed that she got poor treatment versus her mom got good treatment. What the fuck? So unfortunately, a lot of American Mexicans are victims of white supremacy. The whole, I'm Spanish. They don't know the real history. Spanish raped your ancestors, took away your language, your culture, your customs, your mores, everything from you, and imbued theirs inside of you. Same thing they did with my race. So you can wear as a badge of honor, the slavery they impose on you, or you know the truth. But in watching this guy's channel, it's got me thinking, wow, you can live pretty cheaply down there. So I told Jovino when we come on, hey, we're moving to Mexico if Donald Trump comes in power. And that's just what I think I will do. You could have a 3-bedroom house real cheap. And yeah. Only thing that's bad is the grandkids and the kids, but I can come back to the States, twice a year to visit. I don't mind that. I know she'll miss her kids, but hey. And plus, she speaks Portuguese, and it's basically Portuguese is a derivative of Spanish, or the original Latin that evolved into Spanish, and same words, only they got a few different words. They also kept their J sound when the Black Moors took over. When the Moors conquered Spain and Portugal in 711 AD, the Spanish submitted and dropped their J sound because they didn't have J in their language when they took over. The people that took over, the blacks took over, had been conquered by Islam, so they didn't have J sound. That name Jesus, it's not his real name. It's amazing how blind and dumb most people are about real history. Whereas I try to learn the truth. And I'm not going to learn some bullshit and believe bullshit. I try to learn the truth of everything that's going on out there. That way I can face it with a clear mind and know what's really going on. Okay, let's go into our comments from last night's video. Last night I shared some of the idiocy coming out of 2006. And I've had some comments on that video. Let's see, Stan, Supremo, what's up, player? When's next hangout? I'd love to chop it up with you. I don't know. I don't think Grease 2000 is going to make it through after all. He got his money and ghosted, so I'm not sure. I haven't heard from him in over a month. That's when I was going to do my next hangout. But I guess he's happy. When the spending spree gets over, then he'll probably come back and we'll do another hangout. So I'll probably just do one on my own. But I'm not sure when. I get tired of it just being black only. No offense to my brothers. I get tired of white folks too scared to come up in there. I don't know why. Somebody who's white or Caucasian, tell me why. What the fuck you guys scared of, man? Also, I get tired of people just hanging out, sitting there, while others are trying to get in. Instead, just want to chit chat because they're lonely. That's not what I want to do with my hangouts. I want to be able to answer questions, and there are people that have questions, but they're too afraid to come in and ask them. I'm wondering if maybe they're embarrassed to show their face. I may have to do it on the Any Meeting platform because I know when I do those, it's packed with all races because all you gotta do is type in your question. If you want to be on camera, you can. It allows 9 people to be on camera besides myself, but the rest you can just tune in and type in your question. So I'll probably use that so that maybe it'll help my Caucasian brothers come out of the hiding and ask their questions. Kara Hawkins, I haven't heard a crazy friend zone story in years, especially when the guy still accepts friendship from the female who rejects him. You mean he still begs for friendship, wants friendship. I know today's guys are way smarter than that. I wouldn't allow a female to do that to me. I'd move on. Yeah, you know what I would do? It wouldn't even got to the second day. I didn't say date, but day. Sometimes it took me 2 days to get to a female. Jovina's case, I met her. Actually, I talked to her the night before I even actually really met her. But the next night I took her on the floor. It was a Friday, then on Saturday I took her on the floor, we danced. I set up, I guess I got her number and I set up a meetup, a date, a drink date. Meet at my favorite bar. And we didn't have sex that day because she was on her period. But she said it'll be off on Wednesday. Wednesday came down, she came right over. We knocked it out. It's amazing how you guys have this perception of women that just isn't true. Women like to have sex. It's just they can't trust most of the males out there to be normal dudes, to be cool. Let's see, books for a better life. We have a similar style of texting girls. I highly doubt that, brother, because I talk some shit to girls. I'll text girls that I know early in the morning and tell them I'm taking that ass tonight, just so they can sit there and think about it all day and fantasize about it. I text them nasty shit, funny shit, stupid shit. But I also use texting to give direction. Hey, before you come over, go by Taco Bell, bring me some Taco Bell. And they'll text me, well, what do you want? Then I'll tell them what I want. I always make sure women pay to come to play. You got to come bring something to the altar. Because I figured, sex with me was worth it. One female, she even put money in my account every time before she came down. As I've shown, let me see. Let's see what we got here. Let's go into my files. Because a lot of you guys are new. You don't know me. You probably think I'm full of shit. Good thing I kept documents. Let's see, documents. I should be able to do a screen capture. It's called Thursday Night. Not here. THU. Let me try this other folder. Thursday Night Convo. Fuck. I believe I already done a video on this, but let's see what happens when I try screen capture. I'll show you how I did females. Screen share. Google Hangouts would like to share the content. Okay. Well, nothing happened. Choose what you like to share. There's nothing in the box. I'm on Windows 10. Damn it. Hold on, fellas. Well, I'll just read it to you. Some time ago, when I was partying with my boy Craig, he was on my computer on, I think, AOL or one of them, doing IM chatting or doing something, and one of the girls that I knew broke in to his whatever he was doing, and she called my name. Back then, I edited the name out because I cut and pasted everything, and I was on the Pimps Network at the time to show fellas how I handled my game, and I edited my name out. But she said Chris or whomever, and him using my account, ZenMac at AOL.com, which I still have. I said, hold on. He said, okay. And I said, hey, what's up, bitch? She said, Daddy, I'm finding out that you were right. I said, do you know who you're talking to now? Just to make sure she knew it wasn't Craig. And I said, right about what? She said, I know who does it for me. And, you know, I talk a lot of shit back there. I said, yeah, you better represent. She's a girl that I busted from the team because she got stalkerish. She was stalking me. She always put money in my account, as I'll show you in just a minute. I wish I could do a screen capture, but you'll just have to trust me. I've done a screen capture before for you new folks. She said, when I talk W/men, that means with men, lowercase I, know that they will not do it for me. So I said, then you need to get your big ass back on my motherfucking team. And I said, I know you need your daddy. I said, don't you, baby girl. That's how I talked to girls back then. I cannot feel their manhood, she said, their being. You know how in tune I am to that? Number two, that. And she said, yes, daddy. I said, say you're sorry, bitch. I was a different person back then. She said, I had a man get so pissed that I wouldn't take my pants off. I said, I guess you had to learn, didn't you? And she says, Daddy, I'm so sorry I doubted you. I said, you got to buy your way back into my good graces. And she said, oh, Daddy, anything. And I said, feed a nigga. And I was going to make her do something with my boy Craig, but I didn't. I don't share. I don't share very well. We did take on an ad in the Sacramento News and Review. Two handsome guys seeking the company of an attractive female. So we had girls that came over that we tossed, but that was, you know, not my own personal stuff. Anyways, I said, she said, your baby girl is here. And I said, put some money into my account again too. This Sunday at 1 p.m., bring your big ass down here. She was the light-skinned Mexican, real shapely with hair. I've never seen a woman with that much hair in my life. It came, when she pulled it, it came past her butt, but it was all just like a mane of hair. She's connected to my, never mind. I've seen her in recent times. She's cut her hair, surprisingly. She's dating some black dude in the Bay Area now. She actually told me that some dude before that wanted her to do porn. And she got away from that dude, thank God. Anyway, she was married. She had 2 kids and a husband, and she didn't come down all the time. Every what, 3rd week or something like that. Anyway, she said that is all I ever wanted to do, but you confuse me. And she goes, okay, Daddy. I said, later, she said, moi. So that's a report that I made on the Pimps Network when I was on there back then, when it was a good place to be, before all the nerds came in there, trying to combine pimp shit with square lives. Nathan Miller, the first guy you talked about, was probably wearing a necklace because it made women look at him, and he automatically thought that means he has a chance of fucking them. Yeah. I think I talked about it years ago, different types of looks guys mistake. If you're wearing something stupid, of course they're going to notice it, but it doesn't equate to a look of sexual interest. Heathen Deluxe. You kicked me out of your group for no reason. Your followers are lames and losers. Now, this is a guy that was a previous follower, and I kicked him out of my Facebook group for some kind of reason. But also, there were 2 other mods in there. And I do know that one mod kicked a lot of people out. That'd be Grease 2000. He kicked a lot of people out. Ben thought it was I that kicked him out, but it was actually as one of the mods. And Ben wanted to go run around, talking shit about me, and I'm not the one that kicked him out. Michael Nolan. A bitch shield is basically a woman that does not choose that man. So, of course, you're running around right up to her, you're going to face rejection. No, a bitch shield is a shield that women put up to keep men from approaching them that they don't want. Okay? I talked about Jovina. She had that same bitch shield up when I first looked at her. That's why I never approached her. If it wasn't for my friend, the DJ, wanted her to just say hi to him because he had a thing for her. I never would have approached Jovina ever because she walked around with that bitch shield up. That look, don't approach me, Didn't smile. She had those big fat lips. Don't, in a frown. And then after I started kicking with her, I realized why. Like I said, I think in the last show, she couldn't make it to the fucking bathroom without dudes trying to, black dudes trying to pull her off and touch her ass and shit like that. After people knew that she was mine, they stopped. But before they knew that, I saw them. And one dude says, at least put $1 in it, she said to him. Because he tried to grab her butt and put $1 in her back pocket. I don't know where she got that say. I keep asking about that. She don't even remember saying it. Egal Shabal. I think I've done all my comments. Yeah. I've been watching your videos, some of your videos. I'm new to this channel. What do you mean by hoe chasing? Oops, hold on.
Because I ran into an incident. This is about the police in Mexico will take up upon their locals before any foreigners. So my situation was when me and the little honeyborn was coming back from, a little function or a little club or whatnot. She was drunk and shit. And she just decided to start taking out her anger on me. So obviously I was a punching bag.
Uh-oh. So the brother in Mexico got stopped by the police because, Latin women have a temper. I've seen that temper before. They was coming home drunk. I guess she was drunk and she started hitting on him or whatever. And then the police stopped. I'll catch up on the story later on after I finish with you fellas. When I go into someone's channel, I'll tend to watch most of their videos. So Igal's saying, what do you mean by hoe chasing? Does it mean going up to women trying to talk to them? Or does it mean giving all your attention to them? Hoe chasing is basically cold approaching. If a female doesn't give you a sign of interest, then you're hoe chasing her. Okay? So, which reminds me, one of you brothers owe me an explanation. Amon Ra, you owe me an explanation why you're hoe chasing. If you're, the viewers here, why the fuck would you hoe chase Amon Ra? Hoe chasing is basically cold approaching. And I know you're probably from a different country, but Black Americans, we do that a lot. Our dicks start leaking. We start hopping around like little puppy dogs. We see a hot chick. We got to run up to her. The phrase in the Black community is put your bid in. Unfortunately, if you're not very good looking, got some dough, unfortunately, Black community is pretty fucked up. Light-skinned, then your chances go down unless you have a lot of swag. Okay? So if you're watching my channel, your chances of having a lot of swag are nil to zero. Basically the same, zero, which means you don't have that oomph. And look at you, you're also not light-skinned or mixed. Those brothers, they do better when you hoe chase. Now in a nightclub, it's okay to hoe chase just for a dance. It's when you run into those kind of brothers that won't let go afterwards. If a girl says yes, that's why they're afraid to dance with you. Back when I was a kid, sisters danced with a lot of fellas. It was easy to get a dance. But unfortunately, these thirsty motherfuckers wouldn't let go after the dance. And it was obvious they didn't want to have nothing to do. They'd go back, say, okay, thank you for the dance. They go back and sit down with their girlfriends. That dog-ass motherfucker would follow them back over there. And there's, you see them roll their eyes. And I was at the gym this morning. I just went back. I've been sick for the last, it'll be 4 weeks on Friday. Just gave 4 vials of blood this morning so they can check me out. There was a brother in the gym. These types, they're usually fat black dudes with big stomachs. They wear sunglasses and hats. Usually they have facial hair. You've seen them before. They're chubby, sunglasses or glasses and hats. And usually they wear like a jogging suit. This brother was on the treadmill. I said, I remember that type. Got a little bit of smarts to him, but not enough common sense. And they'll harass a chick. And if they think they buy her a drink, that they own them. So, unfortunately, in the black community, it's pretty fucked up, dating-wise. Some of the sisters are becoming bed wenches. Brothers, we're doing the most dating outside the race. We go for white chicks, Latin chicks. There's even a few brothers that go for Asian chicks. There's one brother on my site who's like my son. I only like Asian chicks, Dad. Actually, he was fucking everything. But his favorite was Asian chicks. He had yellow fever. He got it from my father. Something passed the blood. My dad, that's why we were stationed in Japan twice or 3 times. But anyway, getting back on point, hoe chasing is cold approaching. Now, these females don't ask for some dusty ass motherfucker to step over to them, trying to put their bid in so that she's got to bend over and suck his sweaty, you scrape the scum off his balls dick. Okay? She's not down for that. And that's what they want. So when they see a fellow they like, they let them know through eye contact. That's a known. Anybody that has any ounce of game knows that's the truth. Even the PUAs are now starting to teach the same thing. They're now talking about eye contact. I've been trying to beat in the goddamn head since 2001. So what you do, egal, is you run up on females that are hot, that didn't give you eye contact beforehand. Now, don't mistake, she looked in your direction. She saw you move and suddenly you appeared out of nowhere and there you were and she looked or whatever. Okay? Eye contact is from this eyeball to her eyeball. She looked me in the eye. That happened to me at the gym this morning. There was older, I don't know what race she was. She could have been Latina or something, some type of Latin. She was curvy, type with, pear shape that I like. And then I was checking her out as she stood up from the machine, and I made eye contact with her. She held it. Okay? She held it. That's a sign of interest. I went back to watching my little tablet. I'm not trying to meet girls at the gym. I'm there to get my cardio on. All right, so that's hoe chasing, okay? I try to buy some of your stuff, but you don't accept PayPal. The hell are you talking about? That's all I accept is PayPal. All I accept, egal, is PayPal. I don't have anything else. So go back. Somehow you fucked up. You must have been trying from Obama phone or some shit like that, and it fucked up. Okay, on every one of my products in my store, there's a PayPal link. Let me know if the link doesn't work because, oh, fuck. Right now, you heard that little beep a moment ago? Now, WordPress is updating itself. All my sites are WordPress sites. I don't do HTML anymore. And they're all being updated. So it may have done something to the PayPal. It's been doing the last day or so. It may have done something to PayPal links. Let me know. Let me know what you're trying to buy, and I'll go and check the links. Okay, make sure it's still working. And that's what happens every time they update WordPress, because people try to find ways to hack it, and then they got to update that new way they found to hack it. Because I think the blueprint is to getting more women to choose. It's pretty simple, and that's getting a better financial status, nice car, bigger muscles, dressing sharp. Actually, you're right. Yeah. Let me put it like this. If you were female, would you want to be with some broke, dusty black man? Some bummy black dude? Would you not want to be with a black dude that had something going for himself? That had a nice car, that had some form to him, looked like he could protect you, that dressed nice? Now, I'm reading that article that one brother told me about, and that's one of the major turnoffs of women. Here's the article. Let me see if I can find it again. I'm going to put these podcast shows up on my blog. She's been dealing with the creepy douchebag for a long time. It said exactly that. When she looks at you, she knows within seconds. Like I've been saying. And one of the major turnoffs is a guy that's not dressed well. Let's see. She meets as be less kind, less agreeable, less really everything. Personality disorders, schizophrenia, autism. Yeah, unfortunately, autistic guys don't do well in the game, as we know. Narcissists, schizophrenics, alcoholics, drug-addicted motherfuckers. And mostly males have these disorders. Give me a moment. I'll keep trying for just another moment here. Guys with Asperger's are another factor. Yeah, my older brother has Asperger's, but he has a wife. I'm trying to skim the entire fucking article. Women are trying to do the best they can to reject you without humiliating you. Some. Most do. I'm on my third. There's just another one. I've got a lot of sites you guys never heard of, because I was trying to learn how to do marketing. Marketing one time, so I had created a lot of sites out there. Yep. Let's see. My site, chrisalarnett.com. WordPress 4.5.3 is available. Please update it. Usually, it updates itself. Some of them I got to go in and do it automatically or do it by hand. Okay, where am I at? I wanted to read the exact words to you because I just did it in my podcast show yesterday, where they're talking about guys who are not very well dressed. It's a turnoff to women. It's a fucking turnoff. I knew it was bad, but I realized it was that bad. Fuck. I'm past where I left off yesterday. So just want to be with some sloppy dressed female that wore tennis shoes, that had dirt on her clothes. You wouldn't. At least I hope you wouldn't. I won't go to a girl that's wearing tennis shoes in a nightclub or flip-flops. She's beneath me. I only talk to women that have the decency as a woman to wear their heels. Because that type of bitch, and I hate bitches that take women that will take their heels off while they're at a club. That's like a little girl's untrained at wearing her heels. I think a blueprint is about, trust job. Oh yeah, I have another question about eye contact. Are those rules universal? They're universal all over the world. If you don't speak the language, how in the fuck are you gonna know if a woman's, let me ask you this. How the fuck are you gonna know if a woman's interested in you? What can she do? All over the world, women are not designed to approach men in most cultures that I know of. So what can they do? Jesus, God in heaven, what can these poor things do to get your attention? The first thing they do is they give you the look, eye contact. How could you not know this? It's just plain common sense. But these European descent PUAs, they keep rejecting shit. They're stuck on the caveman shit where they went over and knocked the female on the head, I guess, and drove it to their cave or something. I don't know. They got some kind of thing. Men do the choosing. You sure do. But if you don't choose your back, you ain't getting none. So how about choose what chooses you? Are those rules universal? Yes, they are. Because it has to be put into context. I've had weird, awkward instances now, not now, but a while back, where some Arab women and Indian women stare into my eyes, eyeball to eyeball, to the point where it gets uncomfortable and I look away. That means they bitched you out. They made you look away, like a female should look away first. Also, there are a few women who sell things in malls. Okay, if they're selling something, of course they're gonna flirt with you because they want you to buy shit. Just like girls that work in restaurants. They're gonna flirt with you so you give them a bigger tip. The worst type of question I get from fellas is, hey, there's a girl at the West restaurant that I go to. I think she likes me. Or at the clothing store. Jesus, God in heaven, can't you guys understand that she's trying to get you to buy stuff? Dummies? This used to be one of my pet peeves. I bet they think I'm a chump who's willing to spend some extra cash. Exactly. They know the suckers. They know the guys that will fall in love with them if they just look at them in the eyes and smile and be a little bit flirty. They've had no experience on the job to know who the suckers are, who'll take the bait. And you guys give yourselves away because your eyes light up. And suddenly you get all shy and bashful, like a little boy. You start hemming and hawing. Basically, you lost your game, lost any chance of being her master or her man. So you come out smelling like some shit. So understand that when she gives you the eye contact. Now, here's the problem with that I can't stand is guys go out there. Supreme, I went to the club. I got no choosing. Supreme, I went to another club. I got no choosing. I went to this other club. I got no choosing. Now, usually they're looking at the hot chicks only. They forget about that this game has a caste system to it. Hot people date each other. If you're watching me, you're average. Sorry. Sorry to bring the bear of truth, the light of knowledge that we're only average. And most chicks that are hot, they're not going to date somebody average. You got to have something more to you. Okay? When I said average in looks, average personality, you have no shine to you. You have no charisma. You're just an average dude. If she saw you on the street, she wouldn't even remember how you looked. If you shook her hand, she wouldn't remember you the next day. So that's why I try to give you the tools you need to become above average, so you have that at least a little bit of a spark. The game is a caste system. Hot dudes date hot chicks. Now, what constitutes hot? There's hot in looks. There's hot swag-wise or charisma-wise. There's the bad boyish hot. They could be big, ugly brutes, bald-headed dudes, bouncer dudes, and still date hot fucking chicks. Okay? But girls consider them hot because they're muscular, they're masculine. Which, of course, is missing from the majority of males that are watching me right now. Most of you guys, you actually are below par in their masculinity. I'm sorry to say that. That's been programmed into you. They started that shit right after I was out of high school. I started noticing it. On a side note, I was sitting in a coffee shop with my boy Neil, and we were noticing, this is back in the early 90s, all these feminized, now Neil's a white guy, males coming in. You say, what's wrong with my race? They all look like little girls now. Now, Neil just recently found out, I'll ask some of you Caucasian folks about this, that his great-grandfather was a mulatto. One of his great-grandfathers was a mulatto. And he always thought he was pure white, as he told me a few weeks ago. And it got his family upset. They just, did some research. And without a doubt, and I seen the guy's photo, he was a mulatto. And he's from Illinois, the area where it's all Germans up there, the countryside, where they have the farms and shit. So why would he be upset to find out that one of his relatives was black? He's not pure white. Does that make white people upset? Because we learn every day that we got every one of us know we got European in us. Don't make us upset. But why would it make you guys upset? Like his sisters struggling to deal with it. His brother deal with it. And luckily his father, he's saying his father didn't know because it's on his mom's side. I guess his father was a sheriff and he was a racist. So why would that make you guys upset? Somebody who's Caucasian, let me know about that. In America, Michael Brown or Michael Nolan, don't answer. I'm looking for, Americans because we're the most racist people around. And he's white American. And I said to him, hey, my grandfather was white native. Don't fuck with me. It just is. It's no big deal. So anyway, I was talking about Neil, and we noticed how back in the early 90s, it started with punk. There was a genre that came out called punk. And then goth came out of that. From the most feminine fucks. Well, punk had two sides to it. It had the aggressive mohawk-wearing sides that they got to the clubs. They would do that tribal dance around and start slamming each other. From that, of course, it came out of England. Of course, all this bullshit came from England, this feminized shit. We developed the goths. And the goths were these angry, they're classified as violent children. Look it up. Angry kids, entirely intelligent, but just androgynous. Very androgynous. They start wearing all black. They worship the vampires. They're walking the vampire bund. I would go to the club on Sundays because it was goth night and see them, doing their dance of walking across the floor. That was their dance. That was a dance. Walking like vampires with fake vampire teeth. And I was telling Neil, I like to bust one of their goddamn gums out with them fake teeth. I just totally rejected the feminization, the feminized males who were coming out of that shit. So I began to start paying attention. I realized there's a feminization thing going on. When I got online, many years after I came online, I started doing research on it and realized that yes, there has been a feminization program for males. It's been going on for a long time. And also I looked into the feminization of black males here in America. There's a strong feminization program and a homosexual program trying to convert black males to homosexuals, also trying to just feminize males in general so that we'll be more passive, more easy to manipulate. Also, so that we will stop breeding. Dominant society doesn't want more blacks. We've served our use. We built the country. We built, for example, the White House. A black man designed D.C. Washington, D.C. was designed by a black man. We built New York City, the first New York City. They don't have any use for us anymore. We're like a chain around the dominant societies. These are the people that run everything. Neck. We won't get back on the plantations. That'll never happen again. So be gone. Stop breeding. So that's their whole program, to feminize us and get us to stop breeding. Notice how in every black community, if you're white, you probably don't know this, but there's a Planned Parenthood. So now black women have the highest abortion rates. Injected AIDS, drugs into the community. Of course, black folks feel the way we do. We ran to the drugs. I'm one of the few blacks that don't smoke weed. Never will. I take reality as it is. I don't need to smoke my reality away just so I can feel good and feel better and chill out. I take it like a man. I'm black in America. I don't need a crutch just to be able to tolerate this shit. And for most part, there's no shit. I have a business. I train white folks. I don't have black clients anymore. Most of them have quit, moved on. So I do business with white folks. I have no problems with that. Some of them are my good friends. So a lot of the fellas that complain, I haven't experienced some of the stuff they complain because I don't live in the ghetto. I live in I'm in the black area now, but I live in a middle class area. Actually, this is lower middle class. Yeah. But I was lower middle class born. My dad was in the service. We traveled around the world. We had money. We had the money to buy food. We didn't live in ghettos. So they feminized and worked really hard to feminize males. You notice that the skinny jeans became popular. And who ran to them? They introduced it to us with our music. They know they control us through our music. I saw it back in the 90s with the cross colors things. Black folks started wearing the clothes backwards like dummies. Now think about it. How stupid is that? Put your coat on backwards and walk around like an idiot. Because it was considered a new fashion thread. I told my ex-wife at the time that this is, no offense to Caucasian folks, but I said, this is white folks fucking with our community. They have control of us through our music. And sure enough, they do. Not one black-owned rap company exists to this day now. And they follow the 4 rules. Don't talk about white people, don't talk about gays, don't talk about Jews, and don't talk about the police. Have you seen any rap music talking about either or? No. But you're allowed to talk about each other and kill each other. So they got control of the black community. Easily done. It was like a piece of cake. They walked right in, took over. So watch out for the feminization program there, Egal. I don't know if you live in America. I'm looking at the background. You're wearing a bright color. That makes me think you're probably African, because African fellas, you like those bright, bright colors. And look like some green shit behind you. I'm just assuming. I don't know where you live. You could be an African here in America. But in America, it's pretty bad. You now see ghetto thugs wearing barrettes, colored barrettes in their hair. Thank you, Snoop Dogg, for feminizing Black American thug life now. And then they look at you like when you look at them in shock, they look at you like you're the one with the problem. There's one fellow that was sagging one time. Jovi and I were at Starbucks in my truck. And I pointed, look at this motherfucker. He was sagging so low that there's nothing but ass and drawers hanging out. So he turned around to us, I guess his friend told him about us, and pulled his pants way up here, like trying to make fun of me, because I'm old. He thought he was the one that's right, not knowing that sagging is a sign of homosexuality. See, that's how dumb my race has gotten. Now, I didn't mean to talk about and rant on the Black community. Egal. Let's move on to the next one, the Artistic Johnson. Yes, sir. It's been a while, Supreme Man, since listening to you. I've leveled up, man. Been hitting that gym. Good. I feel great. My main girl has a shirt with my name on it. You went Grease Style. See, Grease Style did me. I had a sign a woman took a photo of saying Private Player Supreme. These jackasses on the internet thought it was fake. I just sent one of my private clients some of my communication messages between her and I, because I'm trying to teach them how to learn how to talk dirty to girls. But Grease's girl got a t-shirt made saying property of his name, Richard. Next, there'll be tattoos. And there are girls that put the man's tattoo on them. See, about to purchase, I've gotten 4 raises at my job and about to purchase a second vehicle. Very, very good. Hopefully you have a car. The next thing you want is either SUV or a truck. Get a truck, man. Because that way you can haul stuff. And start going camping. For the people that are most connected to the planet, because we're the original man, we're the worst at actually connecting to the planet. When I go camping, it's mostly white folks out there connecting back to nature. We like run. We see a snake and we're gone. Like poof, we develop this hole through space and disappear. We hear a bird chirping and we're ducking. The girls that were around since before coming into your work are fading away, which I encourage to get lost. Don't call them anymore. Because every day I'm getting better. I noticed the women I was meeting matched how I viewed myself. Thank you. The reason why, egal, if you go to a club and hot chicks aren't looking at you, because you're not hot material. That's if they don't. So start looking for girls on a lower level. You have to find your market, your level of women. That means you got to start scanning all types of girls to see, and it's only going to be like 5% in any venue that's going to be feeling you anyway. So you got to find that if there's 100 females in the room, that's 5 chicks. That's a lot of females to find, and find the 5 that are kind of feeling you. So you really got to become a man, because a man is a hunter. A man knows how to hunt. You got to require or get your hunter skills back as men. That means you got to learn how to outward focus and be able to spot the girl maybe in your peripheral vision that just glanced over you, so you can look, see if you can make eye contact with her. And if she holds it, there's interest. And she may not be hot. Sorry, she's not going to be hot. I'm going to tell you guys right now, she's probably not going to be hot. Nope, most definitely she's not going to be hot. Sorry. Because you haven't become hot material yet. Okay? You got to get your swag way up there. I didn't have the light skin, the good flowing hair that, mixed brothers have, but I still caught some hot babes. And I found that usually, I was dating outside the race. White chicks actually preferred, dare I say, natural blacks, real blacks, because mulattoes don't like to call themselves black anyway these days. My father's day, that's what they call themselves, what they're known as. It's like they got some kind of attitude in the last 20 years. We're not black. And there's one brother on here arguing with me that saying they're not black. He's probably dark skinned though. So like the dark skins, they hate the light skins. They're jealous of them. And they don't want to give them their black hood or whatever. And then the light skinned ones who are mixed, they don't want to accept the black hood. So the cops stop them. Anyways, I was able to catch a lot of fine chicks. I dated I always like to have, I always like a nice face, but they had to have that ass. You brothers know what I'm talking about. Those small waists and the big hips and the ass. I like to fuck a lot. Well, I used to like to fuck. Not anymore. That's gone, dried up and gone. But I used to like to fuck a lot. And skinny chicks whined at me. You gave my cervix a headache. The chick actually told me that. My cervix a headache. Sorry. I'm no gigantic dude down there, but white chicks are made for white dudes, I guess. I don't know. It's like Asian women are made for Asian guys. And I feel sorry for brothers or Asian chicks that are dating brothers, man. But that's just not a good match. Continuing, sorry, I keep going off the tangent. They took 4 vials of blood at me. I came home lightheaded. The girls around, I'm much more comfortable because of your knowledge. Appreciate everything you're doing for the idiots who just don't get it. I used to be one. I've held you too long. I've held you too long. Thanks again, Supreme. The Artistic Johnson, please help me. You've learned the truth. So help pass on that knowledge by commenting to fellows that just don't get it sometimes. Most people either get it or they pretend to get it because they don't want to make a comment where they'll get harassed. The ones that pretend to get it are in denial about the truth. for some reason. Rufiano, are you black? You look black, light-skinned. I don't have my glasses. Wait, Jovina's glasses. Don't clown me. I still can't tell, brother. I'm sorry. You could be black or you could be Hispanic. I was watching that guy, Trevor Noah from South Africa. He was talking about, he wanted to be black. He's mixed. He didn't realize he already is black. He looks like a black man. In this country, a lot of light-skinned black men look just like him. I can always tell when the father is white because of their hair. The hair, because you take a lot of hair genetics from your mom. So when the mom's white, they have looser, softer hair. When the father's white, like in my dad's situation, the hair is more like, natural black hair. He was talking about he came to America and he was practicing being black and practicing the statements, not mean, which means you know what I mean, that type of stuff. And then he was talking to some brothers and he felt black because a brother came up to him, talking to him and stuff. And then this Puerto Rican came up to talk to him in Spanish, and he was like, "Oh God, I'm Puerto Rican." So that's what you remind me of, Rufiano. Madness. He writes, "You should definitely make a video on that article. It's interesting. That video will take a fucking day to do. That article is really long. I'm doing podcast shows that I'll put up on my blog. In fact, I'll try to put up the 2 that I've done. Put them up later on today. It's interesting how the lady in the article even says how it takes within 8 seconds to examine a male to know whether or not she wants him to talk to her. Hence the importance of inner game. It will come across in the way one dresses. Do you know I said it was 3 seconds years ago? I'm glad you're correcting me because I'm gonna now use 8 seconds because it's coming out of the horse's mouth. Back then there was a girl that was on one of the sisters of one of the guys was on a hangout that I did, and she said 1 second. But I've always used 3 seconds. They put that in books. It was titled, "When You're in Business, They Know Within 3 Seconds of Seeing You Whether or Not They Want to do business with you." Just based on the way you look and the way you feel. But I like 8 seconds, very conservative. It'll fit if not all situations. The importance of inner game. It will come across in the way one dresses, walks, and more importantly, one's facial expression. Whether he looks happy and cheerful, like shit's going good in his life, or he looks miserable, dark, and depressed. I've heard that unmentionable one, the black guy, I don't like to say his name because his followers will start trolling me. It starts with a K. He posts about how he hated being black and because he's 5'2", and he now has a girlfriend. That means I got to get on my boy Nate that's on my site. He's 5'3". If this low self-esteem motherfucker can finally have a girlfriend, I know my boy Nate, who's buffed, can get a girlfriend. So hopefully his videos, he will shut the fuck up, quit embarrassing the race, quit being a fucking puppet monkey on a string, acting like a damn fool. I'm not gonna say his name because he was trolling me, his loser followers were trolling me, and it's just not worth it. I call him the unnameable one, which gives him too much power to begin with, but let's continue. It looks dark and miserable. Thus, if the inner game sucks, a female will tell right off the bat that she won't want to talk to you. In layman's more terms, your vibe sucks and creeps women out. Exactly. Women are very intuitive. They pick up on vibe. It's only those weird, creepy guys that will ask, but what about serial killers? The guys are probably serial killers themselves. I had a dude ask me that and challenge to women pick up on vibes. Serial killers are sociopaths. They have ability to mask their energy. Okay? That's what they learn to become predators. And for someone to bring that up is just creepy and weird. There was a guy that was on, he was this group starts with a T. He's one of those people that brought it up a long time ago. What about serial killers? Okay. Women can feel your vibes. That's why I'm so insistent on you guys going to Toastmasters, learn to become good public speakers. That'll improve your confidence, your vibes. Do my confidence course, learn how to dress well, hit the gym, so you at least feel good about the way you look. I hate to see fat dudes, because I'm now fat. I become a fat dude. I hate to see fat dudes expecting drop dead tens to like them. There are dudes on this net right now, including black dudes, who are fat that expect tens, hot chicks, to actually like their fat asses. And of course, these dudes want their chicks to be perfect. They don't look in the mirror. And when they do, they see something else, I guess. The black dudes that wear the glasses and have the hats, the ball caps, and the sweat coats. You guys see the type. Got a little bit of brains in their head, but they don't see how they look. Hope I'm not too negative for some of you guys right now. I really am about being more positive, but I got to crack heads open to get them to realize, hey, dude, you're being stupid if you think this hot chick's gonna like you. And that's the hardest messages been for me to get out there into the game, because these marketers were teaching, you could be 5 foot tall, short, fat, and balding. You can still date these 6 foot tall models without having money. And they'll start with those. You see the ads. I was struggling to get a date. Then all of a sudden, I met this dude. You've seen those ads. Those are based on ads that came out of the early 30s, by the way. That same style. Like one was, they laughed when I sat down at the piano until I started to play. That has been copied so many times and used in different variations. These are old classic ads that actually work on you. Unless you learn advertisement, this is bullshit. So short, fat, and balding still date 6 foot tall models. Then you get out in the real world and you get clowned, laughed at, spit on, cigarette flicked at you. These are some things that have happened. I've actually seen the cigarette one when I was out with my boy Craig. And I told him after that bitch flicked the cigarette on him, he needs to work on his goddamn charisma. Stop hiding from the world. He had the ability to, because he was masking himself at the time, to mask himself, okay, his true nature. And he should have just went out and been comfortable with who he was and went out there and skipped off and been happy. Right, Craig? He watched my shows. Night Shroud. I got out of most of my depression stuff, but still am on the bottom. If you say you're on the bottom, you will be on the bottom. Try to say that you're above the bottom, so you at least have something good to say about yourself, because you're going to keep self-programming yourself to feel like you're still on the bottom. Okay? I have great self-esteem. If you have great self-esteem, you would not be on the bottom. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. If you feel that you're on the bottom, then your self-esteem is still actually low, Night Shroud. You're lying to yourself. You're fooling yourself. And decent confidence. If you have confidence, you will not feel you're on the bottom also. Both of those are the two items that you desperately actually need. The real stuff. Because it's holding you back from doing what you're good at, which is your music, your self-esteem, and your lack of confidence. And I bet you still haven't changed your online profile like I told you to. I bet you're still having the same shit on there, the same mugshot, Night Shroud. I've seen better photos out of you. Okay? I know you've got like the one right here. This is a better photo than the one that you're using, even though you're still wearing glasses. If you could just take the glasses off, go to a hairstylist, get your hairstyle, get your grandparents to pay for it. Say you're looking for a job, you're going for a job interview. Okay? I don't know where your parents are. I believe you live with your grandparents, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. Because you're going on 30, and in Black culture, there won't be no goddamn old ass kids walking around someone's house. At least there used to not be. Now actually there is. Still live with their mamas. But not coming down on you. Just trying to give you some advice. Get some money from whoever's in the house to get your hair styled. Okay? You'll be glad you did. Then take your photo and put it up there and leave the glass off. And watch how many chicks come to you. Because you got a good looking face. You have a nice looking face. You know, average is good. You're a little bit above average. So you should revel in that and use that. I even don't dress goth very often anymore. Good. Congratulations on outgrowing it. But people still basically ignore me. Don't expect it. They're used to seeing you in goth. By the way, you also have a goth personality. I know this by our interactions, what you type. You're like typical goth guy, you know, intelligent, but different. If you look up the Indigo Children, see if those types don't fit you. You're an indigo. So you're always going to be not fit in to regular society. That's why the goth thing would, you know, it worked for you. Because other indigos became goths. But not all. There are ones who are successful out there. Just like there are alpha males that learn to become successful without going to jail. I don't know if you guys are aware, but alpha males usually end up in jail. But there are ones that learn to become alpha males and they start companies or they become leaders in organizations, intrapreneurs instead of entrepreneurs. But they tested, you know, a lot of people in jail, they have that extra chromosome, or they tend to be on the alpha charts. I had one woman buy me a book from a site called steeldoor.com, and she was into the whole BDSM stuff. She traced history. BDSM is a white thing. It's a white culture thing. It comes out of Europe history. The bondage, the beating, ass whipping, and people taking pleasure in it and all that kind of stuff. That's out of Europe. Okay? That's what she said. And she traced it back to the, not the kings and queens, but the people below them, the dukes and whatever else they had, you know, below that, on that level. And I won't go into that, but maybe one day I'll talk about it. But Night Shroud, you're an indigo. At least I believe fully that you're an indigo. And I suggest you actually look into it and learn to utilize your birth gift to your benefit. I got a lot of 620 videos or comments. Savvy Guy and the rest of the weirdos can't be helped. That Big Boss Calvin is extremely obese and have mental issues. I've talked about the fat black dudes. Yeah, I don't know who Big Boss Calvin is, but I'll look it up. Let's see. Big Boss Calvin 83. Uh-oh.
Hi everyone, this is Big Boss Calvin 83.
He rocks.
They wanted to talk about, but you know.
He's not a big boss either. He's very milquetoast. He's not very organized.
What I have decided to do is just to speak.
Got nice teeth though.
No time for strangers. Say what's on my mind. This is what I'm gonna address.
He's rocking again.
I'm just gonna say that as it is. You know, it's that men, just be who you are and don't apologize for being who you are and live true to yourself.
Okay.
Stop trying to impress women, trying to get with women. Don't waste your money on these pickup artist products.
Like,
regardless of who they come from, all scams is a show. They're making money off a problem. That's why.
Okay, he said they're making money off a problem. Don't waste your money on these PUA products, no matter where it's coming from. Meaning me also. They're making money off the problem. Okay, every business out there is designed to solve a problem. Let's say you have a taste for pizza. You're craving pizza. What do? You call a pizza place. They're in the business to solve the problem of people that want something quick that's made for them for like football night or whatever. You get the hanker for pizza. Let's look at Uber. Uber developed as a problem between cabs and servicing the population out there. Cabs overcharging. So someone saw a problem there and they took advantage of it, created the whole Uber system. I'm in business to solve the problems. You have a problem with your confidence? I developed my confidence course. I was a dance teacher. I taught hip hop and fitness, aerobics classes. So I developed my how to dance product. I taught myself, I learned how to mind fuck women, which taught me how to control women. I developed that to solve the problem for guys that wanted to be the dominant one in their lives, to get women addicted to them. I learned how to fuck really good. So I developed my how to make a woman come product from my experience. Now, this is my experience on making women have tons of orgasms. And I even back it up. I had an audio file of a woman. Never mind. If you bought the product, you don't know what's in there. Every business out there is there to solve a problem. That's what Big Boss Calvin does not see. If he were to start a business, he would look at, okay, what problems can I help people with? And that's why I encourage you guys to do. Figure out what you do well, and then think about other people that want to learn how to do what you do well. Well, they have a problem. Let's say that you know Photoshop, because I'm going to be dealing with Photoshop. One of my clients has just downloaded Photoshop. This is my offline training business. I'm helping her with her website, stuff like that, because I can do that kind of stuff. But I hated Photoshop. I just text her. Where's my fucking phone? I always try to prove my shit. I text her, wow, you picked one product that I have a block against. It's because, I said to her, nerds are good at Photoshop. That's why I have a block against Photoshop. I even had the program on one of my computers one time. I never touched it. Instead, I used paint.net. I even tried GIMP. I couldn't, it was just too much to learn. I don't have time to learn all that shit. But I have it right here on my computer. Oh, fuck, I don't. I just erased big, but I searched for batch resizing if Photoshop would do that because I didn't know. And she wants to, she's an artist. She wants to, she's taking photos of her paintings. She has them on her website. She's doing something else as a store where she can transfer her paintings onto clothing. It's really cool. But she has to, resize stuff. So we're trying to do it batch. I have something called Photo Resizer. It doesn't seem to work on something that's 25,000 pixels, like the long scarves. So we've been looking for a solution, and she just downloaded Photoshop. She texted me this morning. And I was supposed to go over there at 2, but she canceled. So that's why I'm talking to you fellas. Anyway, I don't know how to do Photoshop, I explained to her. And I said, nerds are good at that. And some nerds years ago accused me of knowing how to use it because of that girl holding the sign saying Private Player Supreme. Then someone else came and said, that's done with a sign generator. Despite the fact that I have that woman when she was 19 with her daughter. I have her photo, which I've shown. I've shown the IM contacts where I got her to move from, she worked for the Mormons in their graphic arts department right there in Utah City. She moved from Utah City to Sacramento. Now, this was after I was dating Jovina that she did this. So I had a girlfriend for a long time, till about 5 years, 4 years, somewhere, 5, something like that. Now I don't have any girlfriends. I just got rid of my last back door a few months ago. But in the beginning, of my relationship with Jovina, she had moved out, somewhere into that. I don't recall when. But I just gave one of my clients, in fact, like we talked about earlier, Adrian. If you're watching Adrian, that's that first stuff that when I first started talking to her, and I got her to move out here, okay, to California. So I'm going way too long on this show. Let me cut some of this shit loose and finish up real quick. Sorry I go off on my tangents. I like teaching through experience, through my own personal knowledge. So anyway, I had enough game to get this woman to move out here, okay? People accuse me of using a sign generator because she became my slave, basically a slave, like the Europeans, the BDSM people do. And that's why she's holding the sign saying property play supreme and all the other stuff that I've shown. I really liked being with her too. But I told her I wasn't going to break up Jovina because Jovina was my friend. She was there for me when my little brother died. So I sent her on her way. It's cop and blow. After a while, they really get tired. She knew about Jovina. I lived with Jovina. But she got tired after a while. And I really felt sorry for her. So I had to let her go. Because I really liked her. I liked the relationship. I got tired of, her calling me daddy or master or sir. That got old real fast. And it was hard for her to switch to just calling me Chris. So it is what it is, but it was a great relationship. I loved going over there, getting massages, getting deep tissue massages and everything. It was good, fellas. It was just fucking good. Sex was perfect. I could make her come anytime I wanted to. So sex, I could time our orgasms together. And there's nothing like that when you can have an orgasm with your woman. Most of you guys are so busy wilding out inside the pussy, you don't think about timing your shit with hers. You're so focused on yourself, getting your nut off, that you forget about her. That's why you want to get my How to Make a Woman Come product. So you can learn how to bust her out as many orgasms as she can take. Now with this person, hers were endless. Endless. And I've run into women like that were basically what they call nymphomaniacs. And that's not a bad word. Don't hate them for it. They're just very orgasmic, especially with the right male. Because she told me with some males, it just wouldn't happen. She just happened to find the right male in me. But any hole I wanted, any kind of sex I wanted, I was even going to start doing some swinging, but I don't like to share. So fuck that. I'm a one man. There should only be one. One man in your ear. And guys chase this woman all over town. She go to business meetings and they're like every motherfucker out in the woodworks because you see her body. She's petite with large tits. That's a rarity out there. She's the one that's in my dance video. It was on the old one. You guys seen? So yeah. Big Boss, he's one of those negative people. I would never watch his channel because I'm not a negative person. I'm a positive kind of guy. Only negative people would gravitate towards negative channels. People that preach doom and glooms. One of the fellows that's on my forum, Amstown, I don't know why you're watching the unnameable one to know that he's got a girlfriend. There's got to be some negativity still left in you. This is why you're watching that shit. I don't even go anywhere near their channels. K.R. Hawkins, again, I can see why you want to leave this dating field. Too many idiots don't get it. It's not just those. It's just I've been doing this for a long time, since 2001, giving advice. And I gave it for free all those years. And I'm just tired there, KR. I'm really tired. Think about it. This is how I'm making a living. And I get tired of this, dealing with idiots, pretty much idiots, but the racists, the trolls, the stealers, so much to deal with. I just get tired, bro. And I'll never be big in this community. I can accept that because I don't put the money into it. I don't have the money to put into it to make myself, huge. What I earn, I spend on making a living. Amon Ra, Supreme. I asked this girl for okay. Amon Ra, you have not answered my questions. Okay? I asked you, why the fuck you hoe chasing? Secondly, why would you ask for a Facebook? So I'm still waiting for an answer to those questions. I'm going to keep waiting until you answer them. I'm going to keep on you until you answer me, Almond Raw. I'm actually going to do a video just for you. Call you out on this shit. I want to know why you hoe chased. I really want to know that. I want to know that more than I want to do any other shows in the future. That's how bad I want to know. Someone who's been here, who knows the truth of the game, why in the fuck would you hoe chase? So I'm going to keep on you. Okay? And I'm done today, fellas. As you know, hoe chasing is cold approaching. The guys that learn the knowledge of the game, you have a choice. You can hoe chase, which is a numbers game, or you can work intelligently and just build yourself up and go by girls that are choosing you. Whatever girls choose you, that's the level that you're at. If she's like a 6, that means you're 6 material. As you rise up, because my way is designed to make you into a better man. Hoe chase gets you nowhere. You're still the same dude. Still the same dusty ass, broke ass, going nowhere in life, working at Subway or a low-end job motherfucker. Run around trying to date hot chicks. Now, there are some blacks with enough charisma and swag, they can date the big booty ghetto hot sisters. And they get away with it because those chicks like the masculinity of thug, broke, dusty ass black dudes. But what about for us educated brothers? Okay, we got to make ourselves better. We got to develop that same kind of masculinity those motherfuckers have. They're our enemy, by the way, because they're the ones who bring our race down. They do the thug shit. They make us look like fools to the media. And of course, the media only goes to those dummies to talk to show. That's why white folks don't like us, because they show those jackasses. Weed, smoking lips, burned from the weed. So continuing here, let me go ahead and close out the show so I go get something done today that's more intelligent. I've got to come up with a marketing plan for my personal training business online, because I'm moving my personal training business to an online business. So you guys have a good day. Peace.